Betsy McCaughey. I'm running for governor, and I'm going to work very hard to win your vote. I see many friends here, but other people with whom I'm just making friends today. So let me tell you why I'm running. Because our state needs a battle-tested fighter who can clean house in Hartford.
Yes.
Who can fight for homeowners against Lefty Lamont's housing law, right? And who can bring prosperity to this state by eliminating, I want to underscore that word, eliminating the state income tax.
Yes.
Yes. Not just trimming around the edges. Let's start with Hartford's war against all of us who are homeowners. That housing law will force up your property taxes even higher and wreck neighborhoods in little towns across this state. Basically, the law says, never mind if you spent years working to afford a single-family home on a quiet street, you can't have that. The government is going to come in and put an apartment building or even a trailer park right next door to your house, all for what the law says explicitly, economic diversity. Let me make it clear that on day one of the Betsy McCaughey administration, that law will be a dead letter.
Woo! Yes.
Property taxes, they're crushing us. Home values have gone up 60% in the last 5 years. But that doesn't mean you have more money in your pocket, realized gains, no, to pay those extra taxes. The culprit is a state law that requires every town to reassess homes every 5 years. That law is unconstitutional. And the first day as governor, I'm going to freeze that reassessment law, freeze it.
Yes.
And push through the legislature a bipartisan bill to cap the annual increase in property taxes at 2%.
Yes.
Or inflation, whichever is less. Yes. And for seniors.
No tax.
Right. Seniors. There are 403,000 households in our state headed by a senior. 310,000 of them own their own homes. And 235,600 of them earn less than $100,000 a year household income. For those people, paying property taxes is in the rearview mirror. Never again.
Yes.
They've done their share, and they ought to be able to stay in their homes. Now, why am I emphasizing home ownership so much? Because it's the American dream. And Lefty Lamont has made it into the impossible dream. But this is our pathway to sweep the state red this November. Everybody says, how are you going to win? This is it. This is it. Because 68% of Connecticut residents own their own home. That's a lot higher than the Republican registration, 68%. That means we can champion home ownership, defend homeowners, and get plenty of Democratic and independent voters to come vote for us. That is how we're going to win in November. I wrote a little poem for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Owners vote red. Renters vote blue. Fight for homeowners. It will make a winner out of you.
Yes.
Red and blue. It also applies to those exorbitant energy bills. In blue states, they're gouging consumers, gouging businesses. Red states have perfectly reasonable electric rates. This is not an act of nature. It's not, it can be changed. The reason blue states have such high rates is the politicians are making decisions without any regard to the cost of those decisions. And if Ned Lamont is elected again, our already terrible electric bills will double. Think about that. Will double. Because he signed all these contracts to buy offshore wind power. Offshore wind power costs 86 cents per kilowatt. Electricity produced by natural gas or nuclear costs only 46 cents per kilowatt, about half. So who would be crazy enough to sign all those contracts to purchase offshore wind power and then make us pay for it? A crazy ideologue, right? In the Betsy McCaughey administration, this state will not be buying any offshore wind. That's just Lamont's problem.
Yes.
And of course, we will get rid of the public benefit charge.
Yes.
Which is just a way for all these left-wing not-for-profits up in Hartford that fly BLM flags and rainbow flags to literally, they're taking the money out of that cookie jar. You're paying that public benefit charge, and it's going for those left-wing not-for-profits. Now, once we lower the electric costs and we lower the taxes, we can bring prosperity back to Connecticut. And that really matters to me because I grew up here in Milford and then in Westport. My dad was a factory worker at the W.E. Bassett nail clipper factory in Derby. We didn't have a lot of money, but this was the opportunity state back then. You could envision any kind of success. The day I won a scholarship to college and my dad put that Vassar decal on the back of his old blue Dodge Dart and drove me to college was the biggest day of his life. The tears rolled down his face. And since then, I've been able to realize successes I never dreamed were possible. I want Connecticut to be the opportunity state again. Instead, it has become the evacuation state, the exit state. Everybody's leaving. Right next door to me, my daughter lives with her husband and their two little children, my newest grandson, just 6 months old. Do you think I want them moving to Tennessee or Florida or Texas or South Carolina? No, I want them to stay right next door. And that's why I want to make Connecticut the opportunity state again for my grandchildren and for your children and grandchildren. And let me tell you, that is why last week in the Capitol, I announced that as governor, I will act immediately to eliminate the state income tax. It's over.
Yes.
That's right. Ever since 1991, when that tax was put in, it's been a death spiral for our economy. We can make Connecticut the tax haven of the Northeast, like Florida without the palm trees. Literally. The moving vans will be clogging 95, bringing people and companies in. And especially now, all across the country, governors are competing for business by lowering taxes. 9 states have no income tax and 8 more are eliminating it right now. Right now. And where's Lamont? He's not competing, right? He's only competing with Kathy Hochul next door. They're in a road race to see who can manage the worst state government.
He's only
now
concerned
Hochul's a
about
little bit
ICE.
ahead. Hers ranks 50. We're only at 48, but he's catching up. That's why we have to vote him out of office. So we're going to make Connecticut a very prosperous state because when you tax something less, you get more of it. Much more business, much more opportunity when we get rid of that income tax. It will make Connecticut a thriving, booming, wonderful state again.
Affordable.
Let me just say something about the other issue that's so important. Winning. It's time to win, right? I have 2 very fine competitors in this race, very fine people. But I'll tell you a story. Back in 1994, there was a governor in New York, Mario Cuomo. He was seeking a third term, just like Ned Lamont. Everybody said, Mario Cuomo can't be beaten. Oh, nobody could beat him. And they were even going to put him in the Supreme Court. George Pataki and I crisscrossed New York State, explaining to people how we were going to lower taxes and bring prosperity for little kids like this, adorable one, to New York. And we beat Mario Cuomo's butt from one end of that state to the other. We controlled 61 out of 62 New York counties.
Woo!
2026.com. We've got some forms here, right, Jonathan? I am the only one of the 3 candidates. I jumped in very late. Really, I was drafted. Honest to God. So I haven't accumulated all those donations to qualify to get on the ballot with the public system. I have to do it very quickly. So even if you only give $10, which is still a lot of money, please sign up to give something, because it's the number of donors who matter. Really. Sign up with your name, put whatever you can in. I've got to get about 6,000 donors. So you can make a big difference, and I thank you so much.
Woo! That's the next governor right there.